It's still Halloween music. Why is it still Halloween music? I mean, is November still spooky season? Rodney, you were supposed to... Oh, all right, yeah. I'm still doing spooky music because it turns out that the song that I had been using got copyright stricken on a couple of my videos. So I gotta find you like a new theme. I should find somebody who makes music and get them to make me a little 30-second blurb. So the spooky season music's gonna keep going on right now. We like it. It's spooky, 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 spooky. Enjoy the spooky music. We love it so much. It's always good. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, this is
spooky, 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 spooky.
Ow.
Spooky.
Cut the music. Okay. It is now serious time. Ow! I'm trying to have serious time. Don't throw Bentato at me. It is serious time because it's past Halloween. I hope y'all had a wonderful Halloween. It was a good time. Didn't get too many trick-or-treaters because we got like a goddamn 3 inches of snow and it was like 20 degrees outside. It was cold. It was snowy. Really cut down on the number of trick-or-treaters. Come on. Halloween, by law, should be like dry and like 60 degrees or something. 65. Yeah, that'd be great. Wow, that's a really cool username. Happy Halloweeny. Well, welcome everybody to our first... Wait. I had forgotten what day it was. Even though I was specifically told to remember the 5th of November. Happy Guy Fawkes Day, everybody. It's no longer a Halloween stream. It's a Guy Fawkes stream. I don't have a PNG Guy Fawkes mask. I'm not gonna put it on, especially since that whole Guy Fawkes thing is kind of associated with like 4chan trolls. Yeah, that Guy Fawkes. Yeah. I don't really know the full story of Guy Fawkes. I think he like blew up Parliament or something. He's just a Fox guy. Yeah, I should have found like a Fox furry VTuber to be on today as my guest, but I did not. My guest today, we got a great guest today. You know what makes this guest so great? He's a bird. We got a bird on. We got a bird guest today. Oh, I'm so super excited to have him on. I'm gonna get to him in about 15 minutes here. But yeah, it's been a good week. Took down Halloween decorations today. Put up some Christmas lights. Thanks for the follow, Whip Smart McCoy. Okay, folks, we are at 2. We are 2 away. Whip Smart McCoy, you are follower number 498. We just need 2 more followers. Can we make this a special day? Can we make this a 500 follower celebration today? I think we can. If you're one of those people in here, you're not following me. You gotta smash that follow button. You gotta smash that follow button. I'm so close. We're gonna get that 500. Come on, we can do it today. We can do it with your help. But yeah, and if we hit it, we'll have to do some sort of celebration. Might do a special off Sunday stream with some of my bros and my gals. Maybe a special stream on a weekend or something. But not this weekend. Oh, this weekend, I'm so excited. I finally get to see my buddy Paul Scheer in person, because How Did This Get Made? He's coming to Minneapolis, and they're doing a show on Friday, and they're doing a show on Saturday, and I'm going to both of the shows. It's going to be great. But there is actually something else that's very important that I need to talk about. Don Queso 92, you're number 499. We're at 499. We're so close. We're so close. We're so close. Thank you so much for the follow, Don Queso. We are so close. We're gonna hit 500. We're gonna hit 500. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. God, it took me over 2 years to get to 500. I need some people that did it in like 2 months. Yeah, looking at you, Kira. Your explosive growth. Just because you are charismatic and funny and put a lot of hours in and work really hard. It's not fair. Well, thank you everybody so much for being here. But anyway, what I was talking about is not this upcoming week, but the week after. My local... no, I'm not going to meet Molly. Molly is unfortunately going to be staying in Los Angeles. She's not coming along with the tour. That's okay. That's okay. But I keep trying to talk about it. And get out. I gotta... Oh no, I'm gonna bring up a link. A little picture here. A little picky picture. Picky picture. Alright. Please bear with me. Yeah. There we go. Huge Theaters Improvathon 2023. Can we zoom in a little bit there? So, every year, the local improv theater, Huge Theater, they do a little fundraising. But this year, it's more important than ever because there's going to be, well, a new theater this year. In fact, they just moved into it. They just reopened. And that's a brand new theater. And unlike so the thing is, their old theater, it was a fine space. It was also owned by white supremacists. They were leasing from a white supremacist, and they've wanted to get out of there ever since they found that out. Well, through some little finagling, a little assistance program that the government does, Huge has been able to buy their own theater. But of course, doing that is very, very expensive. Very expensive. And they need money to help pay that down payment, help pay their now mortgage, and also the cost of construction of rebuilding is, in Minecraft, nah. But anyway, so they do their annual Improvathon, and it is going to be starting at 8 p.m. on the 15th, and will go until midnight on Thursday. Well, okay, is midnight technically Friday? They're going to go till 11:59 p.m. on Thursday. And so they're going to have a different group perform every half hour. And my group will be one of those groups. And I'm like, oh, wow. And 28 hours straight improv. Well, what time frame did you get, Twig? 4 a.m. They gave us our group 4 a.m. So, Hasio, you can watch. Any of my overseas folks, I think Stroka, I think you're overseas, right? Aren't you? Yeah, you can watch it. But don't worry, I'll have no trouble getting to the theater at 4 a.m. because I'm already going to be there because I am also participating in a little thing called the Iron Audience. I will be watching the entire 28 hours, and it might kill me. But I'm now going to do a little fundraiser directly for me. Each Iron Audience member is supposed to help raise money themselves. Not in America, but not in fact overseas. Okay, my mistake. But anyway, so it's going to be I'm gonna need your donations, and I'm not gonna have the donate link quite yet today. But Sunday Dusk next week, I'll have all the information for that. And then I will be posting stuff in my Discord and on Twitter and on Blue Sky and all the other places of where you can donate to help out the theater and make me the most awesome Iron Audience member. So we'll get a little bit more into that. But now, the stream's already been going for 10 minutes. I suppose we got to get to the news. We got to get to the news. Let's get to the news. Oh, we got some good stories this week. We got some great stories this week. Now, this is a story I'm sure that many have already heard before. But there's been some issues in Arizona. And, well, let's just say that locals are handling this issue just fine. The issue, of course, is that people are trying to put golf courses in the desert. And you shouldn't put goddamn golf courses in the desert. But luckily, the locals are helping to rectify this situation. The locals, of course, on the left being these javelinas, which they're not pigs. They're closely related to pigs, but a javelina is not a pig. And as you can see, on the right is their handiwork. They are tearing up golf courses because that's what they do. Because fuck golf courses, especially in the desert. Do javelinas taste good? I don't know. I bet they do. But I've never eaten javelina. But yeah, their whole herds of these are going onto golf courses and ripping up that sod, which, I mean, honestly, you're not going to get a good deep-rooted sod because it's the desert. I mean, golf is already an incredibly environmentally wasteful sport. Don't get me wrong. I enjoy playing golf. Golf is a fun game. If you enjoy golf, that's fine. But I think we need to be a little bit more responsible about golf. Not take up so much land space and keep it, I don't know. Maybe some regions just shouldn't have golf. And Arizona is one of them. Or, maybe start looking into alternative ways to play golf that don't use grass. Like maybe you could have desert golf, make a golf course on like hard rocky dirt and have special clubs that do it. I think there's a way you could play golf in the desert without having to waste millions of gallons of water on recreation, especially as climate change gets worse and worse. It just seems irresponsible. So luckily these javelinas are doing a great job and destroying it, and good on them. So thank you to Allison Chu of the Washington Post for their article. Hungry Javelina tore up a golf course. The internet is on their side. Topgolf is good. Yeah, I like Topgolf. Topgolf's a fun place to go with your friends. Now, this next story comes out of Florida. We got a Florida man story. Don't we all love a Florida man story? Well, this Florida man is in trouble with the law. But you know what? In this case, I think I gotta say I'm on this Florida man's side. So as you can see here, this is the truck that got him in trouble. Now, if you look at a quick glance, you might think like, oh, patrol car, it's got the green and white, it's a border patrol. Oh, wait a minute. That doesn't say border. That said booty. We got the booty patrol and the National Booty Behavior Protection. We got the booty truck. Well, the Florida driver was issued a citation. The sheriff deputies determined his truck labeled Booty Patrol too closely resembled a Border Patrol vehicle, and was basically cited under a law that you're not allowed to have your vehicle impersonate that of a law enforcement vehicle. And you didn't have the red and blue flashing lights, but apparently the paint job and the symbol on there did make it to look, and unfortunately, it just seems that it was not allowed. Now, they did have some of those lights installed, but those lights were never used on a public road and only for like usage in a filming of a music video, apparently. I tried to look up more details on that and I couldn't find anything, but apparently this was used in a music video, which I kind of like. But unfortunately, it got in trouble, and Florida man is going to have to pay the fine and repaint the truck. That's too bad. Sorry, Booty Patrol. Looks like you're not going to do it, but... well, maybe this person could do something that involves being the best Florida man he can be. Which, well, thanks, Ben Hooper, UPI, for your article, Florida man cited for Booty Patrol truck's resemblance to a Border Patrol vehicle. Thank you. But, oh boy, this next story, this man who drove this truck, I think you should enter what this next story is talking about, because we got another Florida man article, and it looks like in Florida, they're hoping to find the ultimate Florida man, because starting this year, we have the first ever Florida Man Games. That's right, folks. We have the Florida Man Games. It's a new competition to determine who the best Florida man is. And unfortunately, the Florida Man webpage is very clearly, obviously, using AI-generated art. I mean, come on, look at that picture. That's clearly AI-generated. Don't do that. Pay an artist. Pay an artist, goddammit. But yes, we have the Florida Man Games coming to Florida in February in St. Augustine, Florida. The organizers describe it as the most insane athletic showdown on Earth. The games will poke fun at Florida's reputation for producing strange news stories involving guns, drugs, booze, and reptiles, or some combination of the four. So, you might be wondering, what kind of competitions will there be at the Florida Man Games? Well, let me tell you, they got 5 events. 5 events. We got the weaponized pool noodle mud duel. Pool noodles in mud in a duel? Interesting. The second event, the evading arrest obstacle course. Oh, that's a classic. That's a classic Florida man thing to do, evade and arrest. Then going in with a little bit of the weather, we got the Category 5 cash grab. All right. Next one is a race one. A race where you got to be holding some items. That's right. It is the catalytic converter, 2 bikes, and a handful of copper pipes race against time. Oh, yes. Catalytic converters, bikes, and copper pipes. Commonly stolen things. And lastly, we have the Beer Belly Florida Sumo. I hope these are broadcast on the Ocho or something, because this is an event I want to see. Go, Florida man, go. I love this idea. So, well, thank you, thefloridamangames.com, but then also the Associated Press for their article, First Ever Florida Man Games will feature beer belly wrestling and evading arrest obstacle course. So, yeah, look out for that come February, folks. Now, my final story of the night is a follow-up story. Follow-up story from about a month ago, maybe a little more than a month ago. I don't remember exactly when I covered it, but do y'all remember Wally? Wally was a true friend, somebody who was always there for his friends, but unfortunately was wrongfully kicked out of a Philadelphia Phillies baseball game. That's right, we're talking about Wally the emotional support alligator. Well, though there was a small issue with the Philadelphia Phillies, a different Philadelphia sports organization has decided to embrace Wally, and in particular, a mascot. Wally got to meet his hero, Gritty. That's right, folks. Wally the emotional support alligator was the featured guest of the Philadelphia Flyers, and old Gritty got to have some fun with Wally. And boy, did Gritty and Wally have some great fun. Highly recommend looking this up on YouTube. There's a lot of videos on there, but they're all like news reports. I didn't want to play a whole news report for somebody else, but there's some great footage of Gritty and Wally out there having the best times of their life. We love Gritty. We absolutely love Gritty here. And Wally just having a great time with Gritty. I mean, this is just so much fun. I mean, they were doing all sorts of crazy stunts and stuff together. And yeah. Yep. Oh, Wally. People are like, Gritty, were you afraid to be holding an alligator? And Gritty said, I ain't afraid of no gator, as Gritty said on an Instagram post. So, yeah. Wally got to go to another Philly sports game, and who knows, maybe Wally will get to watch the Eagles win the Super Bowl this year. I don't know. Who knows? But we love it. We love Gritty. We love Wally, and I'm so glad the two of them came together. I was hoping for something like this. So, Thank you to Kimberly Speakman of People Magazine for your article. Flyers mascot Gritty bonds with famous emotional support alligator at Philadelphia hockey game. Ah, so good, so good. All right, we're gonna call the news done. I'm gonna get my butt behind the desk. Well, it's time to bring on my guest. My guest, as I've said, is a bird. We know we love birds. We love birds. If you have watched me do poetry night on what? Okay, I guess Rodney's showing up now. Okay, Rodney, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, it's right. We got a guest coming on. Oh yeah, I'm super excited, because he's read poetry on Kyoko's poetry nights, and just an all-around cool and nice guy. Everybody, I would like to welcome a little hummingbird to the channel. Everybody, let's give a welcome cheer to Archie. Woo! Yay! The crowd loves you.
Hey, yay.
All right. Well, why don't you have a seat and let's go down to the left. There you go. Well, Archie, how the heck are you?
I gotta say, I am hungry, actually. I am hungry, but that is a constant state of being for a hummingbird, so
It's true.
usual, I guess.
Yeah. You going to torpor at night?
I do.
Yeah.
And oh my god, it's so like jarring, especially when the time zone changes, or not the time zone, but just daylight savings. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
yeah. Happy daylight saving, everybody. Got extra sleep
Yeah.
last night. It was so nice. So nice.
But yeah, I am happy to be here and ready to answer some questions.
Oh, you want to hop right into it? Well, I say why not? Let's get to know Archie a little bit better. So let's bring up the 13 questions. All right. Well, I mean, the first question, it's the basics. It's the basics about you and who you are as a streamer. Describe yourself as a VTuber. What's your lore? What's your stream style? What are your goals?
Ooh, okay. Well, my lore is not that established, really. I've made like passing comments here and there that I'm sort of a little bit of a science experiment. As I mentioned in my debut, which you can see the highlights on my YouTube channel, by the way. Sorry for the plug.
Oh, plug yourself away. That's why you're here, right? This
I guess,
literally, this entire episode of Sunday Dusk is a plug for you. So,
yeah, I guess that is fair. But yeah, in my lore, I was just a normal hummingbird before, but I was captured by a scientist who was trying to make amalgamations, kind of Full Metal Alchemist style. And so I got fused with a human. But he ended up in the wrong side of a botched experiment and shortly passed away. And so a bunch of us got free, including me. And I was trying to be a bird again, but then I realized, hey, wait a minute. Being a human, not that bad. And like I've retained some of my metabolism, so I can just like eat all these things I couldn't eat before. There are so many different kinds of sugary candies. Did you know that?
oh, so many kinds.
Oh my god, so much sugar.
We
so much sugar for me.
we just got done celebrating the candiest of all holidays.
I know. It's so good.
Trivia question.
So good.
Do you know what the second most candiest of all holidays is in the United States?
Ooh. I mean, I would imagine Valentine's Day with all the chocolate. Or Easter.
It is actually Easter.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. That almost threw me for a second. Dang.
Yeah. Valentine's Day and Christmas are right after that.
That would make sense.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to all the peppermint candies. Man. Very, very good.
It can be hit or miss. All right, so that's your lore. What kind of streaming do you do?
Most of the streaming that I do is gaming, actually. That is like pretty much, I would say 80% of what I do. Every now and then I might do something a little bit more low key. Last year actually for November, I did a lot of study streams for NaNoWriMo so that people could work on maybe like writing some poetry, writing novels, or just, doing general study stuff.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a writer. That was another perk of being human. Is I got to learn all these fun new words and stuff in my attempt to revert myself back to bird form. But I don't know, language is fun. Language is
Yeah.
very fun.
And
But then other than that, yeah, I play a variety of games. So like any genre, I'm bound to have a favorite in it. Um, whether it's like a AAA title or indie, it's all good. I love to see creativity in all its forms.
absolutely. And any goals you have, or are you just kind of doing it for fun?
Uh, right now, I feel like most of my goals kind of have taken a little bit of a backseat, but that doesn't mean that I don't have ambition. Um, I feel like what I want to achieve most when it comes to my streaming is I just want to have a big cozy community that supports one another,
Yeah.
whether it be in like a creative endeavor or just, you know, a way to perk up after a long stressful day. That's what I want my channel to be.
Yeah. I like that. Speaking of cozy fun space, thank you to Dreyfrig for making a cozy fun bird space, and
Oh
for
my God, yes.
subscribing, for 1 year of friendship. I love your
Wow.
1 year of friendship. Dre doesn't
Yeah,
give Twig the P.
I'm
Now he does.
very
Thanks so
I'm
much
very
for
very thankful
yeah. But Dre's
for
Dre's 12 months of subs. It's so nice. I appreciate it so much.
yeah, big bird supporter
Yeah,
for sure.
lots of birds. All right, let's move on to the next one. If you could do a collab with any streamer, who would it be, and what would you play or do?
Ooh, that is actually a really tough one.
I know there's so many
I
great people
mean,
out there.
there are a lot of great people out there, and I feel tempted to say somebody on the corporate side, maybe from Hololive. I mean, I I gotta thank them because uh, it's how I got started with VTubing in the first place. I didn't even know it existed before a certain clip of a certain girl wearing band-aids came along. But I think overall, I think the person I'd want to try and collab with most is probably Nanners, former VShojo rep, and I don't know, she just gives off a lot of vibes that I sort of jive with. She's a little chaotic, but in a fun way, not a like destructive way. And she is very like loving towards her friends and stuff like that. And I don't know, she just reminds me of some people that I would have met like back in high school or something. So I feel like we'd get along pretty well.
Cool.
Maybe do like a party game of some kind.
Party games are always fun.
Mm-hmm.
I do some
Oh,
party games.
speaking of, there's actually a new one that came out recently, a bird-themed one,
What?
that I'm blanking on the name of, but I think it's Headbanger. It's called
Oh,
Headbanger.
that pigeon game.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
pigeons.
yeah. I wanted to get that try. That looks like fun. Yeah, that looks
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it'd be a really good bird collab.
for sure, for sure. And I do like rhythm games.
Yeah, that's another thing. I wonder how it would work with the latency, but other than that,
I'm guessing that it's like what other people do doesn't affect what's on your screen so much, other than like you just see their scores. And I'm guessing it's
mhm.
more like local and you kind of focus on your own thing. But I don't know. I don't know. It'd be a good question. Because, yeah, latency is
Yeah,
always an issue with any rhythm games.
for sure.
Yeah, because I know, like, if you did, like, Rock Band over the internet, that, like, if somebody you were playing with missed a note, it would still, like, play the note. But if they, like,
Oh,
missed a bunch
dang.
in a row, it might, like, silence it. But, like, yeah, it just went with the assumption that they hit the note. And everything was just kind of local. And then, like, it fed each other the scores and the accuracy, but, like, pretty good. But, like, it wouldn't mess with the music too much, just because it'd be too hard
Oh,
to
I
do.
guess yeah, that's good.
Yeah. All right. So, what game has the most hours played on any of your devices?
Oh, oh man. I think the most, it's funny, I don't actually stream this game that often, but if I had to guess, the game that has the most hours played is probably Smash Ultimate for me.
Ah,
Um, yeah, I really got into it. I wouldn't say I'm like competitive with it, maybe like a casual competitive. Um, but I don't know. It is such a huge undertaking. The fact that like all these returning characters came and then a bunch more got dumped on top of that, and
how
like
many
the fact
characters did
that
they end up with?
I think 90, if I'm not mistaken.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's 89 or 90, somewhere up there. And yeah, um, it's just really fun otherwise. Good sort of like party game, as I mentioned before, but also just something that you can play and kind of grind to on your own time, which is probably why I have so much hours in it, because I recently actually tried to get all of my characters into Elite Smash, and it wasn't too long ago, maybe like a couple months ago, I finally succeeded.
Yay!
So, yeah. And
Admittedly,
like I said, I'm not that like,
I've never actually
huh?
played Ultimate. I think I've played every other version, but never Ultimate.
Oh, yeah. It's let's see. I think they mentioned that the speed is like somewhere between Melee and Smash 4. So it's not like too high paced, not too sweaty like Melee, but still like decent enough to where people can like pick it up and get into the competitive scene.
Cool, cool.
Yeah. And like I said, I haven't done competitive much. However, I do have to mention one accolade under my belt with it. Um, Back in I want to say a couple years ago, um, I actually entered an online tournament and got top 32 in my region.
That's pretty good. Very nice.
Yeah.
Your region is Northern
It was
Canada.
very surprising, but yeah, it was good.
Cool, cool. Well, awesome. We do love Smash. I mean, Smash is. What just makes you wonder is just like, are they going to do another Smash in the next Nintendo console?
I mean, I guess it would depend on, because if we're looking at like a Switch 2, I'm not sure how that would work, but like whatever console comes after that, I wouldn't imagine they just drop it entirely just because Sakurai is taking a backseat to, you know?
Mm-hmm. I do think it's interesting how they're just like, yeah, we're not going to make a new Mario Kart, but we're just going to keep expanding 8 to ridiculous levels.
Yeah.
And honestly,
I
why
mean,
not? Eight's engine is so good.
right.
Yeah. Good on
So
Nintendo.
I don't know. I think I'm actually I don't know if you know this, but Sakurai, the what was
Oh,
it, the producer of Smash Ultimate?
I mean, he's
Um,
like the main guy behind Smash Brothers and has been for a long time. But yeah, what about him?
yeah. But he actually started a YouTube channel after he got done with Ultimate's production, and he just has like a lot of little tidbits about the gaming industry as a whole. But he talks about Smash sometimes, and he does make it sound like either there would be like another Smash down the line, or maybe like a Smash Ultimate sort of plus sort of thing.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I mean either way, I would be interested to see what they do with it.
64 player online all at one time
Oh
Smash
my
match.
God. Oh man, the lag would be unbearable.
Ah, that'd be fun.
Mm.
All right. So, what's your favorite place that you've ever visited, and what's a place you've never been to but would like to visit?
Ooh, that is a tough question actually. Hmm. Because hummingbirds are very migratory birds. I've actually lived in a lot of different places.
Mm-hmm.
So, uh, the most favorite I've ever visited, though, that opens up a lot of possibilities. Ooh, I know. So, Back when I was in high school, junior year, we were raising funds in our German class to take a trip over to Europe and tour a bunch of countries in Germany and sort of like in that vicinity. So we ended up getting the funds for it, and a small group of us got to go with some college age students and their chaperones. And yeah, we spent a couple weeks in five different countries, I believe. There was Germany, there was Austria, the Czech Republic, Switzerland, and we took a very, very brief detour in Liechtenstein. But that was more of a pit stop. But it's Liechtenstein, so that's all it can be.
Yeah, me small, very small.
Um, but yeah, that was a lot of fun. Very, very cool. I didn't talk to the locals much, but it was still fun. I want to say my favorite place that we went to was probably Munich.
I've heard great things. Heard it's a great city.
Yeah. I think the first night there, we actually went to the Hofbrauhaus, the really, really big one. And I didn't try any alcohol myself. I know at the time that I could have, because it was legal for me at that age to drink there. And I probably should have. I probably should have. But yeah, I weak. What are you talking about? I just I don't know. I was a very sheltered, straight-laced sort of kid growing up. Okay,
It's okay to not like alcohol.
it is okay. I do need to also like I don't know. Sometimes there's a big pressure to feel like included in the group when it comes to drinking. You know, I feel like that's a big contributor. But no, it was still fun. There were some people that were playing live music up on the stage. There was a guy who was cracking a whip repeatedly, so that was interesting.
Okay, was the band on stage Devo? Because that might explain it.
It wasn't Devo. It was just a polka band, but still good, still good. Oh my god! And the waitresses bringing out like 30 mugs of beer in two hands.
Oh my god, those German waitresses,
Mm-hmm.
they are built.
It is intense. It's so intense. And yeah, actually, funnily enough, a lot of other people were drinking that night. And so I asked our chaperone, our tour guide, if I could lead us back to the hotel. Because I don't know why I'd ask that, but I don't know. I just wanted to feel like important, I guess. So he gave me the go ahead, and everyone the whole time, because I didn't take them the same route that we came in, but we were still going towards the hotel. But all the while, everyone was like, "Are you sure this is the right way? Are we going there?" It's like, "Yes, I know. I looked up Google Maps. I'm fine." And we got there perfectly fine, perfectly good. So it was a good time.
Very nice.
But yeah, being in charge of a bunch of drunk people, very interesting experience for a 16-year-old.
Yeah, I've been in that situation. It's awkward. It's awkward.
Uh-huh. But you know, like sometimes it feels nice to be like depended on in that way, you know? Like not necessarily like, oh, I'm the responsible one, but more so like there are some people who need my help and I'm helping them, and you know, they were very thankful afterwards, so it felt very nice.
That's great. That's great. And
Oh.
second part of the question: where would you like to go? You've never been.
Yeah, okay, there are actually a couple places there. Um Weirdly enough, I've always wanted to go to the Amazon rainforest. I guess it's not so
Oh.
weird. There are probably a bunch of hummingbirds there.
I can
But
confirm that there are.
yeah, I don't know. The Amazon just feels like it feels dangerous. I got to be blunt about that.
Yeah.
Probably very dangerous.
Jungles
Uh,
are dangerous.
but at the same time, just being surrounded by nature sounds like a fun time, which I guess would probably make sense for my most wanted vacation or just travel destination would probably be the Galapagos Islands.
Oh,
I
that'd be
absolutely
amazing.
love to go there.
Yeah, I think I would too.
I actually have some plans that I've made forever ago at this point, but I wanted to take like a friend group there on a little like a I think they do like not necessarily cruises, but they do like little travel packs and stuff like that to the Galapagos. I feel like that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. God, I'm gonna have to put that on my list of places to go. God, I didn't even thought about that. But God, Galapagos would be amazing. See
hmm
the
Pretty expensive though. I think when I
oh,
was
I'm
looking
sure.
it up, it was like 6,000 a person. So like I don't know. It'll take a bit of saving up for sure.
I remember hearing, I think it was Radio Lab, but there was a story about they're trying to kill all the goats on the Galapagos Islands because
Oh,
they're invasive. They are not native and they're causing havoc to the plants and stuff there.
I didn't even know there were goats on the Galapagos. Dang.
Some people brought them and left them, and goats do goats. And yeah, it's right, Hasio. They need to just let a chupacabra loose. I just hope
Yeah.
chupacabras don't like tortoises.
And also, it might not be the best idea because I think either Australia or New Zealand tried to do that. They're like, oh my God, we have an invasive species. Let's bring in another invasive species to take care of that because they're natural predators. But no, they went after the actual, like, local wildlife instead.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. You bring in a chupacabra to kill the goats, and then you're gonna have to bring in a Bigfoot to kill the chupacabra. Then you have to bring in a Mothman to kill the Bigfoot. It's just you're just gonna have an island overflowing with cryptids before too long. It's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Freezing the Hasio. I don't know if you know much about the Galapagos Islands. They don't really have a winter.
Oh man, those 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 winters in the tropics. Oh man, they get so cold.
Ah,
Though, if
cool.
I'm not mistaken, I have actually heard, I mean, more so in the mountains, but Hawaii does get snow sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. A lot of their mountains are snow capped, but I mean
hmm
that's pretty much only on the highest areas of the mountains. But yeah,
Right, right.
yeah. Hawaii's cool. I like Hawaii.
hmm
Okay, so this is an interesting one. If you could be instantly talented at any skill, what would it be?
Ooh, okay. Congratulations on being the first not to say
He's
Japan.
not the only one who hasn't said Japan. A couple other people have also said not Japan.
A couple. I mean, I would like to visit, to be honest, but
Yeah, I
mostly
would.
because that's where like Nintendo HQ is. That's where I really want to go visit the Nintendo World there. But yeah. But yeah, instantly talented at any skill. So let's see. I feel like it would be very on brand to say writing, but I don't know. For some reason, I feel like the whole learning process when it comes to writing or like most artistic skills, I don't know. Part of the fun is the journey, you know? Uh,
I would
being
agree.
like initially bad at it, but then like seeing your progress as you go on.
Hmm. So what's something
Uh,
that maybe would be useful that you would want to skip all that part of it? Maybe yeah,
right.
maybe something more useful than creative.
Yeah. I feel like in that regard, it would probably be learning different languages. Like if I could
Oh.
learn, I know a little bit of German. I haven't been able to keep up my skills with it, unfortunately. But I did have a German minor in college, so I got that going for me. I can still speak some of it, but I feel like, well, maybe it'd be better if I was like speaking with a native German speaker, you know? Like more of the information would come back to me that way.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, yeah, that's a kind of a outside of the box way of answering the question, but like, yeah, knowing another language is absolutely a skill, and being able to be
hmm
instantly fluent in another language, that'd be super useful.
Yes, definitely, definitely for sure. So if I had to take my pick, um, I mean, German's a pretty easy language, to be honest, because, I mean, it's in the Germanic family. So if you're a native English speaker, you've got, like, pretty much all the grammar set in stone. You just need to learn the words.
Nice.
But I feel like if I were to learn any other language, I mean, as a VTuber, probably Japanese would
Uh,
be the most prevalent.
yeah, well, I mean, language is just so useful to learn because it not only opens you up to being able to communicate with people, but it also gives you access to so much art.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I would love to see what sort of like takes on different genres that like Japanese literature would have. Like what would Japanese sci-fi look like in terms of writing it, you know? Stuff like that.
Absolutely. Hi, Johnny. Uh, yeah, cool. I like it. Language, speaking, very good. So
Mhm.
here's a question. What's the biggest thing you geek out about?
Oh man, I've got two answers for this one actually.
Oh.
Um, I should probably start with the one that is like that I had earlier on in life. Probably the more like prevalent that has carried on into my current years. And that would be none other than Weird Al Yankovic.
I love Weird Al.
You should. Everyone should love Weird Al.
He's so amazing.
Everyone should.
Just an amazing human being. Just like in every aspect.
Right? Oh my
I
god.
mean,
Yeah.
I just love that not only has he created all this wonderful stuff, but everybody who's ever met him said he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So like to give a little bit of backstory, I guess. Back in middle school, because of course it's middle school. Um, it's not very popular. I feel like yeah, I was not very popular. In fact, you could say that I was picked on a lot. It was very bad.
Aw, I hate that.
Um, but I don't know. Around Christmas time of sixth grade, I believe it was. I got an album.
Ha!
I think it was a newest release, called Straight Outta Linwood,
It's a good album.
and
That's a great
it
album.
is a good album. It's a really good album. And you know, it's funny because like after listening to his music, I realized, hey, wait a minute, I've actually heard this guy before. I've heard him on like a comedy radio stations and stuff like that, and I just like basically fell down an entire Weird Al rabbit hole, and I'm so thankful for that because like it introduced me to song parodies and I absolutely love them, and it just made me feel more like accepted and comfortable with myself, you know,
Hmm.
because a lot of the stuff I was being picked on was just being sort of like a weirdo and outcast and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
So,
Al's all about embracing the weirdness and the
hmm,
difference and making it, yeah, just like I said, embracing it,
yeah,
making it a good thing, and celebrating
right.
it.
Like, yeah, and seeing this guy like who's embracing that, and so many people are like fans of that and supportive of it, it just made me feel like, wow, I can be myself and not just get dogged on by everyone. Like, there's still a chance for me. And yeah, I
Uh,
am really glad because when it came to like college, I feel like not so much high school, but definitely college, I found a bigger friend group who were very accepting of me and were also like, you know, fellow weirdos, fellow outcasts. So it was nice to get to bond with them.
now I'm now I'm wondering if I should do it.
Oh, dude, what?
Used to have a redeem on this channel. I haven't done it since Sunday Dusk, but maybe I busted out again, where
Oh,
I would do the bridge from Hardware Store.
oh my God.
Should I give it a try? I haven't done it in a while. Should I give it a try? What do you think, Archie?
Ooh, I mean, good luck, I guess.
All right, folks, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. I haven't warmed up. I haven't practiced, but we're gonna give it a try. All
Oh
right.
man.
You should listen to the stream right now, Archie, so you can get the background vocals because you're not gonna get it through the Discord thing. But
Okay, yes.
let's give it a shot. All right, here we go. Would you look at all that stuff? They got elementary zero feeders, toilets, electric heaters, touch factors, extractors, water rods, and water meters, walker tuckers, copper whoppers, safety goggles, regular tires, BB pellets, rubber mallets, fences, dehumidifiers, fires, picture hangers, paper cutters, waffle irons, window shutters, paper movers, linder movers, masking tape, and plastic cutters, kitchen pots, folding tables, weather stripping, jumper cables, hook tackle, ground spackle, power power, spoons and littles, pesticides, fumigation, high performance lubrication, metal ripping, water proofing, multi-purpose insulation, hair compressors, backing unders, wrecking chisels, stone detectors, tire gauges, hamster gauges, thermostats, and bug deflectors, tail hitch magnetizers, automatic circuit sensors, tennis rackets, angle, brand stirrers, cell synergizers, soffit panels, circuit breakers, vacuum cleaners, coffee makers, calculators, generators, matching salt and paper shakers.
Nice.
It's so hard to do because like Al didn't even do it. He spliced it together with multiple takes because like you just can't do it in one breath. It's not possible. God, I love that
I hear
song.
that it's very, very rare for him to do it on stage, but he has done it before. And apparently one time he even added extra words.
Oh God. But yeah, he typically doesn't do it though because it's just so hard. It's so hard.
Oh my God. That's actually, funnily enough, that is actually a very long shot goal of mine is to be able to do that. Maybe not in one breath, but at least two.
Yeah, you gotta almost like if you're gonna plan it, you gotta like do the breath control and figure like, okay, where like 2 or 3 spots in that where you can take a quick breath without breaking it too much. And yeah, it's kind of hard because as I go, and I'm like, I'm out of breath, gotta quick breathe in, and so you miss. Say I stumble on a few words here and there, and it's just like, yeah, it's so good, it's so good.
But you did an awesome job. Good job with that.
You've seen the movie, right?
UHF, you mean?
Well, okay, the 2 movies then. So UHF and also Weird, the Al Yankovic story with Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, man. Unfortunately, I have seen neither. I really, really want to, though.
Oh my God, Archie! Both movies are so good. They're both
I'm not
so
a true
good.
Al fan. I'm sorry.
I mean, if you're a Weird Al fan, the biopic is like a love letter to the fans. It's I agree, Bentai. We should do a movie night on channel some night. We should do it.
Ooh, that would be so good. But yeah, God, I was really intrigued by the fact that Daniel Radcliffe of all people was chosen for the pick, but it sounds like
he did a great job.
Yeah,
I love Daniel Radcliffe.
It sounds like it was a good experience for him because he like got personal accordion lessons from Al. And yeah.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things that helped make it so great is that Al himself was heavily involved in it. I mean, he even plays Al even plays the record executive who didn't give him a chance.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's really funny. It's really funny. I remember you can go.
A year ago. Hello?
Oh, okay.
You said you remember a year ago. Yeah.
Oh no, I remember back when like the production was going on. That Weird Al would like post some updates on Twitter. He's like, "Oh, the network doesn't want me to do this, but I leaked the ending," and it's just the last parts of the script where it's like fade to black, roll credits. That's the only thing that was posted.
He does stuff like that. Well, and then like when Twitter was having the whole thing about people impersonating other people, he's like, hello? I'd like to report Daniel Radcliffe. He has definitely been impersonating me.
He also has a YouTube channel, if you didn't know. And he posts a bunch of different like short videos on it. I think one of my favorites is he's like getting out of his car and it's like face image of him just like running up to this sign, and it's just a drive slow sign, and he just slaps the letters LY at the end of it, so it says drive slowly, and he's like, grammar people, come on.
Yeah, he does a lot of those, like going to a gas station where it says 10 items or less, and he'll replace less with fewer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and the flying sphere. Yes, the magic orb.
The magic flying sphere. I love that video.
Soup's on. Yes. Classics. So good. He's also had a few, now that the memories are coming back to me, he's also had a few where he's like pretending to call tech support he's like, "Oh man, my TV seems kind of busted. What do I do with it?" Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay. And then it's a video of him like going to a cliffside and just like chucking the TV over. It's like, "Okay, I did it." Oh man.
So good. We love Al. Never not
Hmm.
love Al.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's move
So,
on. I know
oh,
you said you had a
okay.
second thing, but spent kind of a long time on Al, which is good.
Yeah, no, that is perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine.
Maybe I'll have to kind of get back someday, and we'll talk about that other thing.
Oh,
Whatever that may
maybe.
be. All right. Well, what's your favorite activity that has nothing to do with streaming or video games? So it could be like card
Ooh.
games, board games, RPGs, sports.
Let's see. I mean, the skills transfer over into streaming, but maybe it counts as something that is only like adjacent. Would you consider improv an activity outside of streaming?
Dude, of course I would. Dude, I'm an improviser myself. I'm in a troupe with
Mhm.
regular shows. I just did an improv show on Friday. I have an improv show on
Yeah.
Thursday. Did you not see the first part of the show where I'm doing stuff for
I,
an improv theater and I'm watching
I
28
did see that.
goddamn
I
straight
did.
hours of improv?
Oh man. Um, how are you two so compelled? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, I really like improv. I didn't get into it until college, but even before that, I was watching Who's Line like pretty much every night with my mom and my older brother, and it was just so great. It was so inspirational. And there were even a couple times where like we'd meet up with family and all of us cousins would get together and like play games with each other and stuff. One of the things I remember us doing is we would put TV on in the background, we'd mute it, and then we'd try to do that like a green screen
Hmm.
newscaster game
Yep.
from
Yep.
Who's Line and try to guess what was going on behind us. That was really, really fun. And, just like, I don't know, ad lib stuff in general is just very, very fun to see what people like come up with and get their creativity out in an acting space. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never really been one much for acting. Like, I don't think I have the chops for it. But improv is a little more my speed, I feel.
Yeah. Improv and acting, like, it's like a Venn diagram that has overlap, but they're
Hmm.
not completely overlapped. There's still a lot of stuff that's skills and talents for acting, and there's a lot of stuff that's skills and talents for improv. And yeah, it's
Right. I feel like the biggest thing probably holding me back. Well, there are two big things holding me back from like acting. One of them is keeping a straight face because I cannot do that for my life.
huh.
If there's something funny going on, I will break a smile almost every time. The other thing is probably memorizing lines. Like,
Same.
it is so difficult to memorize like an entire 2 hours of dialogue and speeches, and God forbid it's like a musical number and there's like more stuff to it. Yeah.
Yeah, theater acting is a lot harder than like movie or TV acting. Because movie or TV
Mhm.
acting, you just got to memorize the lines for the scene you're about to do. Whereas for theater, you got to do the whole goddamn thing.
Right, right. Uh, but I still love theater, especially black box theater. Ooh, that
Hmm.
is so, so good.
Oh, I've seen some great black box plays. Yeah. Yeah,
I
highly
just
encourage
like
everybody
how.
watching to check out one of your small local theaters. Go just see a small little show. You might be able to go see a
Mhm.
show for like $10 and you might see something amazing.
Yeah, so, so good. I like too how like when you're in a theater, right, there are like so many seats and it's not guaranteed that you're going to get a good view of the stage. Um though they try to make like pretty big props so everyone can see what's going on. But with Black Box, it's a lot like more intimate. You're a lot
Intimate.
closer to the stage. And I feel like that just makes for a more personalized experience with it.
Agree wholeheartedly. Agree. Love it. That's why it's like I'd so much rather see a small band at a small venue than go see a huge band like don't get me, I'm an Iron Maiden stan, but I saw Iron Maiden at a giant stadium and I was kind of far back because those were the only tickets I could afford, and it was fine.
Right.
It was fun, but like going to see another band that I really like who's not that popular and seeing them at a small venue and being 15 feet away from them is so much better. So much better.
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, improv. I love improv. You know, the improvathon
Mm.
that I'm doing the last couple years, Colin Mockery has made an appearance. So
Ooh. I've actually
virtually,
seen.
but but he's
Right.
friends with one of the directors of the theater, so that's cool.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, super
Yeah, I
nice guy.
actually
Super nice
saw.
guy.
Yeah, I can imagine. He seems like it. He's like one of my favorites from the like original Who's Line cast.
Yeah, everyone says
But
Colin Mockery, nicest guy you'll ever meet. Ryan, pretty cool. Drew Carey, pretty cool. Wayne Brady, kind of a diva dick.
yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I get. But yeah, I've actually seen there was a point in time where Colin Mockery and Brad Sherwood were doing a tour together, and so I
Oh
got to see
yeah,
them
yeah.
live with some friends. And then there was another time where Who's Live went on the road, and that was like
Nice, nice.
that was Ryan Stiles, I think. Oh, dang, what's his name? What's his name? Greg Proops.
Oh, I love
Greg
Greg
Proops was
Proops.
also on
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, Greg Proops is pretty good. And then a couple other people I can't remember off the top of my head. Maybe Chip Eston? No, not Chip Eston. Who's the other one? Uh,
I'm trying to remember.
I know he has like black hair. He's more like slim,
Hmm.
but
Yeah, whatever. It
yeah.
was it was a good
Point is,
tour,
they
good improv.
yeah, it was a very good tour.
Very nice, very nice. Well, so next question is, what's your favorite holiday and how do you celebrate?
Uh, God, I this is gonna have another like personal attachment for me. I gotta say, my favorite holiday. I don't even know if you'd consider it a holiday, but it's April Fool's Day,
Ha! I
actually.
love it. I love it. Of course, it's a
um,
holiday.
okay, okay, just making sure, because like it's
Look,
not
if you wanted to
something that
pick
you
like
get off.
National Donut Day, that's an
Oh,
acceptable answer. It
okay, fair enough, fair
doesn't
enough.
need to be a major holiday, just any day that has meaning for you. You know,
All right.
hell, I wouldn't be
Well,
offended if you
yeah,
said your
with
birthday.
no, fair enough. But yeah, April Fool's Day, I it probably started all the way back in first grade because I remember it was a weekend and I woke up. My mom had told us that our neighbor, like our next door neighbor, had gotten a pet monkey. And you know, we're first graders, or I'm a first grader, my brother was a little older, and of course we're going to be excited if our neighbor gets a pet monkey.
Oh
And so she's
yeah.
like, "Oh, maybe if you go outside and like look through their windows and stuff, like from the sidewalk, maybe you'll see it kind of like jumping around." And so my brother and I just like dash out and we start like looking at these windows at like 9 a.m. We're looking and we're looking, and we don't see any monkey
No
whatsoever.
monkeys.
No monkey whatsoever. So we go back inside after like 20 minutes of checking, and my mom is just cackling on the living room couch, just having a field day. So that's probably where it started. And to this day, every April 1st, we try to just like get each other. It's a lot harder because everyone's kind of like moved out, and so we can't really get together to try and prank one another. But man, there have always been like some great moments. And then of course when my sister came along, my younger sister, we started pranking her as well. And I'm we might have been kind of mean about it though, to be honest. Because we didn't really know how to prank when we were kids. So it'd be like, I remember there was one time where we're walking down the sidewalk. It's April Fool's Day, and like either me or my brother, we go to our sister and we're like, "Hey, hey, hey! Look, there's a dragon in the sky." And she goes, "Where?" And we're like, "April Fools! There's no such thing as dragons, idiot!" And we were just so mean as older brothers. Ugh. It's so bad. But
I say you don't want to be too mean. It's a good prank if the person who's the victim of the prank laughs afterwards. If they get mad, then it's not a good prank.
yeah, it was a lot. We got better at it eventually, and I actually carried on the tradition on my own when I finally moved out and had some roommates initially. There were 2 years in a row where I got to say I absolutely nailed it. Um, the first year that I decided to do an April Fool's prank with my roommate, um, was actually the same year that April Fool's and Easter lined up. And I was like, oh, this is the only opportunity I'm going to get. So, what I did was I went out and I got some Easter eggs. And I filled them up with candy. And I labeled them 1, 2, and 4. And I set them across the house. And I think I was busy that day, so I basically like left it to her to try and find all the eggs. And apparently, after a while of like an hour of trying to search for that third egg, she eventually gave up. And that's when I was like, "Bam, gotcha! There was no third egg."
That's good. Yeah.
And then the next year was, I think we were just about to like move out and be on our own. So I figured there's got to be a way to. This is going to be my last like April Fool's with her, so I got to make it count for something. So what I did was I told her that our apartment, it made like some sort of error with our rent, and so we actually got some money back from it. And it was like, oh, we should go out to eat for to celebrate, sort of thing, since we have the extra money. And so we did. But the April Fool's was, haha, we didn't actually get any money back. I just wanted to have dinner with you. So, like, it was more of a prank on my wallet, to be honest. But it was still fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Renter, as if a landlord's ever going to refund rent. Yeah, that'll be the day.
Oh my god. If only. If only. I'm actually looking to move pretty soon. And oh my god, like some of the places. There's one place I just looked up last night. They want, like, in order for me to move in, not only do they want first month's rent, but they also want last month's rent and a security deposit. So it's like triple the amount of money right up front that I have to, like, I don't know if I have that much saved up, to be honest.
Yeah, it's real bad the way that landlords and renters basically screw people over. It's like there's just some serious like regulations need to be put on that industry.
Right.
Because it's just like, well, any industry that people rely on to survive.
Right. And like, I know I buy myself a lot of snacks. I don't know if like that necessarily counts towards me not having the budget to like afford a place to live. I feel like that's a little bit more out of my hands.
Nah, rent's just crazy, bro. It's crazy. It's crazy. All of the landlords are using an app now to help find the optimal price for your region. Well, basically what this app is doing is just doing illegal price fixing. So pretty much all rent is illegally high due to illegal price fixing, and the government's not going to do a goddamn thing about it.
And I was sort of talking with somebody about this. Like, what is the end goal? Because there's going to come a point, if this carries on, where like nobody except like the really wealthy people can afford a place to live. Like, do they want everyone to be homeless? Like, that seems counterintuitive.
Kinda. Yeah. You gotta understand this. If people don't have money to spend, and they're putting everything towards rent, it's not good for the economy. It hurts everybody, but they don't care because it's all about this quarter, not about long term.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. But April Fools, awesome answer to the question. Love it.
Yes. Celebrations happy,
right.
yay.
Now, here's a deep philosophical question. Of all the things there are to know in the universe, what
Ooh.
is a topic that you wish you really understood?
Ooh. That is pretty tough.
Yeah, I know,
Hmm.
right?
Something that I wish I really understood. I mean, I feel like a lot of my time, because um, as sort of a roundabout way of getting to the answer, um, a lot of the friends that I've made over the years, for some reason, they fall into one of three categories. They're either choir kids, theater kids, or people who study psychology. And like, it's not a bad mix, to be honest. Like, they're good people. But I just find it interesting that it's those three specific groups. And some overlap. Some overlap. But I feel like with the psychology in particular, maybe I've just always had a sort of interest in it because I want to know how people work. Sometimes it's very, very difficult to know like what's going on in another person's head, what sort of like motivations they have, or what justifications or reasonings they have for their actions. And I feel like once you get to understand that a bit more, it's a lot easier to know like where they're coming from and maybe what you can do as a sort of response.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Whether that be like to make their friends or to like maybe keep them from doing something bad. I feel like that would be a really, really helpful overall sort of thing to understand is just people.
People be complicated, y'all.
Oh, but also freaking um oh my God, is it called the observer effect? Where like you're looking at particles, but that changes the outcome of how they like react to different things?
Yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, it's one of those things. It's just
Okay,
like, that's not
because
fair. You changed the results by observing them.
right.
Yeah, the
But oh my
uncertainty
God, that is
principle.
yeah, the uncertainty principle. That's it. Oh my
Yeah,
freaking God.
I thought so that was
That
called, but I wasn't certain.
well, that would make sense now, wouldn't it? But oh my God, the fact that that is even like a thing that exists in the universe constantly baffles me. And I'm sure that it's even worse for physicists that are actually trying to like study it. But holy crap, like how is it that just like looking at something changes the way that it acts in like a physical space sort of realm thing, you know?
I
Ah,
I don't know. I mean, that's a level of physics I will never understand. It's complicated.
exactly. But if I could understand it, oh
I
my
mean,
God,
I
I
don't
feel
know.
like
I've seen it. I mean, there's sometimes like, I see a lady and I just stare at her and stare at her. I notice a change in her behavior. So yeah, it makes sense to me.
yeah, they
I don't
either like
actually get
start moving away a lot faster,
that.
or they'll get randomly aggressive for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Oh my God.
Oh, neat. All right.
So yeah, a bit random,
So,
but
what's the worst scuff or technical malfunction you ever had on stream?
oh man. I feel like this one's a bit of a VTuber classic, but there was one time a couple months into streaming that I did an entire like 2 hours of stream where I was muted.
Yeah, that's the old
The
classic.
entire first 2 hours. And you know what made it worse? Is I was playing a visual novel game.
Oh God.
So like it had a lot of dialogue. Uh I mean, I guess in a way that makes it a little bit better because like people could just read what was on the screen. But at the same time, I was so embarrassed. I like went to a break and then I was like, "Oh, wait a minute. My mic isn't on. How long
Oh
has it
no.
not been on?" Ugh. It was so bad. But I didn't really have a lot of viewers back then in any way, so maybe it didn't matter
Yeah.
too much.
In the long run, doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was also before my official debut, so like it was good to get that like initial scuff practice in,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bad when people start to leave after you unmuted the mic. I was gonna say, yeah.
Oh no. Oh, that would be
Uh,
so bad.
all right.
Ugh. You know, that is another thing about like VTubing in general, where I feel like a lot of VTubers are sort of like self-conscious about their voice and how it is. And I'm no exception. For some reason, I don't know. The way I hear myself, especially in recordings, it just doesn't line up for me, and I get really self-conscious. But I've had quite a number of viewers compliment me on it, so uh, I guess I should be grateful for that. I don't believe them. I think they're lying to me, but
That's
but
why I
still.
put on a voice. I put on a voice.
Fair
Because I
enough.
actually sound like this in real life.
Oh
Hey,
yeah,
I did
my
Harvey's
real
voice
voice
in
is
his
actually here. This is my real voice. Oh my god, speaking of voices though, I actually have a whenever there is a frog character on screen, I inevitably start doing a Kermit voice. And it's gotten to the point where my chat absolutely despises it. But I can't help it, it's Kermit, right? You gotta do the Kermit voice. Especially it's
What
just a frog on screen.
what if it's Slippy from Star Fox?
Ooh, I don't know if I could go that high. But yeah,
Yes,
I
we
don't
do
know.
love a Kermit voice. I don't think I do
Kermit
a very
is
good
good.
Kermit.
Yes. I was actually
You do a better Kermit than I do.
Oh, thank you. Back when I like first started doing improv back in college, the person who was leading us actually called me a Muppet on multiple occasions, just because of the way I was like noodling about and
The
could do a really good Kermit voice.
Okay, that's so funny because being called a Muppet can simultaneously be an enormous compliment or an enormous insult. It all
Right,
depends on the context and who's saying it. And
right. I feel like it also depends on whether the person you're talking to is British or not.
yeah, good. All right, another question. So you're stranded on a desert island, and you can only have one piece of each of these types of entertainment to keep you entertained for the rest of your life. And it's not about survival on the island. It's not about getting off the island. It's about what are the things you could watch or read over and over and over again. So a movie,
Okay.
music album, and a book.
Oh, okay. So, I might struggle a little bit with the album, but it's definitely gonna be something Weird Al. Maybe Running with Scissors. Probably Running with Scissors.
That's a good one.
Um, it is a good one. It's got a lot of my
I'm
top
trying to think. What
favorites,
is
especially Albuquerque.
Running with God? What is my favorite Weird Al album? It might. It's not because it's just like he keeps like Mandatory Fun is also a phenomenal one, but I don't know. I think
Yeah.
that's a good one.
So yeah, it probably for me it's either between Running with Scissors or Mandatory Fun for the album. I guess that was a lot easier to answer than I thought it would be. For the book, definitely Fahrenheit 451 is my
Okay.
absolute favorite. And
Now, is
like the
that
whole
because
thing,
on the desert island you could burn it for warmth?
it was actually because if I had
Sorry,
a
that
lot
was a
of
book
time,
burning joke.
I know, I
Very
know,
good.
I know.
Sorry,
But
I had to do it. I had to do it.
exactly. But I don't know. For me, like the thing that's always
Ow.
stuck with me, the thing that's always stuck with me with that book is the way it ends and how like there's a group of people who have books memorized, you know? And for some reason, especially me being an impressionable teenager at the time that I read it, I was like, wow, I want to memorize this book and be like, I want to be the Fahrenheit 451 guy, you know?
And then you memorize.
So if I had a lot of
Go.
time on my hands, I could maybe memorize it, or at least big chunks of it. So yeah, that's the album. That's the book. The movie. Ooh. I'm gonna be really upfront. I'm actually not that much of a movie guy. Yeah, I know. Like, don't get me wrong. Cinematography is awesome. I think there's a lot of creativity that goes into it. But I don't know. for some reason, it's just not my preferred medium for art. Uh, However,
Well, what's
if
the
I
movie
were
you've
to
seen the most in your
the
life?
movie I've seen the most and the movie that I'd probably bring with me, um, it's actually really funny. Do you know a movie by the name of Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
I do know that movie. Yeah, it's a funny movie.
No joke, my brother and I have probably seen that movie about 30 times.
Yeah, there's some
Oh
great
my
physical
god.
comedy in that. It's fun.
It
Yeah,
is
it's a fun movie.
absolutely incredible. I love it so much.
There you
And
go.
like it's probably not the most like top-notch movie, but at the same time, it's just so ridiculous. And maybe it kind of like lends in a bit with the whole like love of improv and ad libs and stuff like that, you know?
Well, yeah, it's just like I think there's very few people that will say that their favorite movie is also like what they think as like the best, perfect movie. You know what I mean? Like,
Hmm.
yeah, my favorite movie is Clue. Clue is a deeply flawed movie,
Oh,
but
yeah. Clue
I
is great
love
though.
it and could watch it over and over and over and over again.
Hmm. Hmm. For sure. That was another like favorite of mine, or like in our friend group in college. A lot of people loved Clue.
So
Made
good.
references
So
all
good.
the time.
I mean, what a cast. What an amazing cast.
uh but yeah, like oh, and also the guy who did Kung Pao also did a bunch of these like I think it was like in the late or mid 90s. He did a bunch of like thumb parody movies. So like instead of Titanic, it was Thumbtanic. Instead of
Oh, yeah, those
Frankenstein, it was
movies, yeah.
Frankenthumb. Yeah, it
Now,
was the same guy.
was he the guy that did Shaolin Soccer?
Uh, Maybe actually, maybe. But that's another movie that I actually really like.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess just like something very funny, comedy based that I can just like indulge in. That
Yeah.
would probably be my movie.
Sure. Cool. All right, two questions left. So,
All right.
what advice would you give yourself before the first time you ever streamed?
Ooh, that is a good question. Um, I mean, when I first started streaming, yeah, Steve Odenkirk. Yeah, that's the guy. uh, when I first started streaming, I was really nervous to begin because I guess I just wasn't sure like how it would pan out, and I guess technically I'm still not sure. Um, I didn't know like what sort of expectations I would have to meet, like as far as the audience is concerned and things like that. But I knew for sure it was something I wanted to do. So I figured I just needed to jump into it. Like I wasn't getting any younger, and VTubing wasn't going to wait for me. So, uh, I kind of started with that mentality, and I'm glad to have kept it. But I feel like, hmm, I feel the biggest thing that I still kind of struggle with is like reaching out to people and trying to make more friends in the VTuber sphere. Especially because a big reason why I wanted to get into VTubing was because there are like so many creators, so many talents that I look up to, and I, it might be a bit of wishful thinking to say this, but I feel like we'd like get along really well, you
Yeah.
know? Like they seem very authentic even though they have this like avatar that they're speaking through. Like it's still them as a person that you're getting to know. And
Yep.
that's always been my favorite thing about VTubing. Um but I'm also just a really shy person. I mean, a little bit of like uh background info for the audience or for the people watching, but like I've actually been invited to this a few months, like pretty long ago. Like earlier this year is when you first mentioned, "Hey, you should come on to Sunday Dusk." And it took me months to finally say, like, you know what? I should go for it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Well, we're glad you're here.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for having me.
And it's not so
But
bad. It's
yeah,
just you and me here. Well,
yeah,
I mean, and
exactly. It's
Rodney.
really good to know people one on one. And yes, with your rubber chicken
Drink
friend
some
as well.
water.
Oh, Kyoko's telling us to drink some water.
Oh, okay. Thank you. But yeah, I feel like the biggest advice I would give my pre-streaming self would be to just not be afraid as much of reaching out to people, and uh, like if there's someone you look up to, just try to be more vocal about it. Like interact with them online and see if you're compatible in that way.
All right, great. Hi, Num
Yeah.
Nums. All right. Final question, and the most important question of all.
All right, bring it.
What's your favorite bird?
All these hard-hitting questions. Oh my God. I feel like a lot of people seeing me. I should explain for those of you who might not know. I'm a ruby-throated hummingbird, by the way. And it's very difficult to tell that, I know, because of my very simplistic design. I mean, I've just got this feather. That's basically about it, and this hoodie. Which I really, this is a major oversight. I should have put you know how the pocket's red? I should have put that closer to my throat, like maybe as like a neckerchief or a scarf or something like that. I should have done something like that. That would have read more as a hummingbird,
Red
a
more.
ruby throat. Red more, yeah. Ah, dang it. I'm so good at catching puns usually. I can't. Ugh. Anyway, like, but yeah, I've been called everything except for a hummingbird, and it's always been like food items. I've been called a strawberry. I've been called a chili pepper. I've been called a cabbage. I've been called a piece of lettuce with ketchup on it. It is absolutely everywhere. It's
All those
so
track to
bad.
me. Those all seem to be fit for me.
But it shouldn't. I'm a bird. I'm a bird, I swear. But anyway, yes. Because of Naruto. Oh my god. Yeah, I think the main issue is that the feather that I have looks more like a leaf. Unfortunately, hummingbird feather's a lot more like round.
Yeah,
And I
hummingbirds
tried to
don't really
get that.
have feathers as we like, the stereotypical feather. But it is what
Yeah,
it is.
they're a lot
So
tinier.
what you're
teeny
saying is the
tiny.
ruby-throated hummingbird is your favorite bird.
It is not actually.
Well,
It
then
is
why the hell are
not.
we talking so much about the goddamn ruby-throated hummingbird?
I don't know
It's not
because
your favorite bird.
I don't know. Well, okay, hummingbirds are one of my favorite birds, but I want to say that my favorite hummingbird of all time is the long-tailed sylph because it is so gorgeous. It's got a lot of the same like color gradients that I have actually. Um, and of course they have the long tail. You gotta love the long tail, especially on a hummingbird. Jesus, the fact that they're so small and have to like drag that thing around everywhere.
Yeah, it's
God.
ridiculous. Some bird tails are
But
just like, why?
also, yeah, but also, that's like my favorite bird. I like to I like to differentiate between like, your classic birds and like raptors. For some reason I have raptors as a separate category in my head. And my favorite raptor of all time is the peregrine falcon.
Oh, we love the
Absolutely.
peregrine falcon around here. Great
Oh,
bird.
they're so good. So good. World's fastest animal.
Yeah, over 200-mile-per-hour dive bombs. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
They're so cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Don't
so
want to
cool.
be on the receiving end of that. You know what probably started that is I don't know if you know this book series, but there's a book series called My Side of the Mountain,
Uh-huh.
and the main character is like this kid who goes out into the Catskills and just basically like lives off of the wild. And at one point he actually gets himself a baby peregrine falcon and like
Ah,
raises it. And yeah, that's probably where it started for me.
cool.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we'll call this done. But we got an
All
announcement,
right.
folks. We got something big.
Oh,
Thank you so much for the follow, Sadistic Wolf 187 and Kitzeral. Folks, we did it. We hit 500 followers! Yeah!
Yay!
Woo!
Congratulations! Oh my god, that's such a big milestone. Good job.
I'm so happy. Uh, we got. Wait, should we play it? Maybe I could be copyrighted, but I don't care.
Oh.
Oh, fuck you, tag thing. Da 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 da. Woohoo! Yeah, we did it, folks. 500 followers. All right. Da da da.
Yeah.
Da da da. We got 500 people who said, "Hey, I want to watch Twig. It's so great." And I bet only a few are bots. Yeah, we got followers. All right. Thank you so much, everybody. Woo! Okay, we're gonna stop that before we get DCM'd, but I just want to thank everybody so much who followed me, who helped make this possible. 500 people, half a thousand people have decided to click that follow button, and it's means so much to me. And Archie, you're gonna get that someday too. You're gonna get there.
Yeah, I hope.
Put the work in. Just do it. Just be your awesome self. You can do it. I believe in you.
Try my best.
I'm
actually kind of close to a milestone myself. We're almost up to 200 followers on my channel.
All right. Yeah, that 200's a fun one to hit too. It's just like, yeah. I think, was it my first Spooktacular that I hit 200, or was that a Christmas special? It's so great. But thank you so much, everybody. We did it. This is a special stream. I'm gonna try and plan a special 500 celebration stream. It's not gonna be poetry night. That's Kelko's thing. All right. Well, we got to get moving on to the most important part of the day.
Of course.
Oh shit! You're not supposed to pop up yet. You're not supposed to pop up yet. God damn it. Well, at least it popped up. Look, we've preserved the integrity of Bird of the Day because we haven't gone to the Bird of the Day screen. All right, we're going to the Bird of the Day screen.
What?
Now, if you could just move yourself over to what the hell?
Oh no. Whoosh. Where should I be?
There we go. Where I am right now, and I'll just move down here.
Okay, sounds good.
Now, Bird of the Day, why is it small? God damn it. I obviously did not go to the Bird of the Day page before the stream to check things out. But now we're good. Okay, so now when I'm clipping it, we can be like, all right, Bird of the Day starts in 3, 2. Welcome, everybody, to Carver's Twigs Bird of the Day. I'm joined by Archie today. And
hello.
Archie is a hummingbird. Now, specifically, Archie is a ruby-throated hummingbird. But I already did that. I already did the bird, so I'm not doing the ruby-throated hummingbird. But Archie is a very green bird and a very green hummingbird, so I decided to do the shining green hummingbird. Look at that little cutie.
You got a picture of my cousin.
Yeah. Look at his tiny little feet. Look at his tiny little feet. So cute little feet.
Oh man, they're so delicate. Have you ever had a hummingbird perch on your finger?
I have not, but it'd be so cool. Just, yeah.
It is very, very cool. They
cool.
hum in your ears like a mofo, but
oh my god, yeah, hummingbird hums. I mean, I've had one buzz my head before. It's just like I actually I was wearing a floral pattern shirt once, and one like flew up and was like looking at my shirt, and I was like, wait a minute, something's wrong here.
Yeah, we're not the brightest bird in the bunch. That's for sure.
Hummingbirds, we love them, but in terms of bird intelligence, I gotta say they're not too high up there. Well, let's learn a little bit about them. The shining green hummingbird. God damn it, I knew I missed something. All right, they're 3.5 to 3.7 inches long, which their wingspans are a little bit bigger than that. It's about a 5-inch wingspan. Little wings. But these guys, they don't weigh much. Like 0.13 to 0.14 ounce. Not pound, ounce. They don't weigh much. And the lifespan. I remember I didn't have that, and I was looking it up and trying to find it and never actually found it. Now, other hummingbirds have lifespans between 3 to 5 years. So we can imagine it's probably in that area. I know that's like the ruby-throateds. And these guys are pretty similar to ruby-throateds in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Biggest difference is where you're going to find them. Ruby-throateds are a North American one, but as you see, these guys, they are kind of only on the northwestern tip of South America. Mostly in Colombia, but also a little bit in western Venezuela there, as you can see.
Yeah.
So Apodiformes is the order, and the Trochilidae is the family that is all hummingbirds. All hummingbirds are in the family, or Trochilidae.
Yeah. That's actually what my last name is based off of.
Trochilidae.
Yeah.
I prefer Tequilidae.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I'm not even going to try and pronounce the genus and species. Doesn't matter. Only nerds like me care about taxonomy. But hey, they're in the hummingbird family. That's all you need to know.
I like taxonomy. Are you calling me a
nerd?
nerd?
Yay! Someone else who likes taxonomy. All right. So these little guys, they're going to do their nesting in trees. And they make these small, tiny little cup nests on a branch. When it's time for mating season, the male is going to do kind of a mating dance, but they're typically they do it in places that have a lot of flowers. So it's like, come here, baby, look at these flowers. Now look at me dance in front of the flowers. And whoever does the best dances in front of the best flowers gets to mate. And then after copulation occurs, the male says, bye, and is gone. And so then the female lays 2 eggs, and she does all the incubating, all the nest building, and all the chick rearing. The males don't do shit. They breed and they fuck off, because male hummingbirds. I mean, no offense to you, Archie, but you're all deadbeat dads. Literally every one of you. Don't even pay child support. Come on.
I mean, to be fair, I'm part human now, so I've left that behind me.
Okay.
I'm a very monogamous bird person.
All right, good. The breeding season is between October and March. Sometimes you'll usually only do 1 clutch, but sometimes they'll do 2 if things work out right, and so that can work out for them. And the thing is, it's just like, oh, they're in South America, but you notice that they're not in an area that is Amazon forest. They actually prefer more lightly wooded areas, or something that's kind of like on the edge of a forested area, rather than actually in deep, thick forest. That's where you're going to find most of them hanging out. I think most of the reason for that is they want to be near flowers, and flowers just don't do as well in heavy tree canopy.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So they like to be up in trees for their mating and their safety, but they still want to be near where the flowers is at. Because turns out these little guys are hungry little guys.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So the diet is almost all nectar from flowers. But that only makes up about like 90% of their diet. They do actually eat some other small, like maybe some seeds or stuff, but they also will eat small insects. In particular, small flying insects. They do hawking, and hawking is a bird technique of hunting in which you catch the insect in midair. So they don't like eat them off the branches or off the ground or anything like that. They will just fly around and be like, "Ooh, mosquito, nom! Oh, little flying fly, nom!" Do that. So yeah, actually skilled little flying hunters, but they still prefer the nectar from the flowers. That's her main thing. And
you.
Oh, what do you say?
I just had a little quick thing to say about this. Did you know that some hummingbirds actually have like serrated teeth on their beak?
I did not know that.
Yeah, and you would think it would be like if they have a serrated little beak, it's to better like catch the insects with, right? No. The reason they have serrated beaks is so that they can more easily, like, if there's another hummingbird in front of a flower, they can just, like, yoink them right away from it and be all competitive like that.
Yeah, I believe that. Hummingbirds are, they are very territorial. They are very territorial. They're like...
Especially when it comes to food.
Yeah, they do not want another hummingbird in their flower. It's like, this is my flower. Yeah, they're actually kind of nasty little guys.
They
Just
kind
because
of
they're
are.
small, they're like they got like Chihuahua syndrome, you know.
Yeah, pretty much. So,
Yeah.
just to make sure that we're all clear, please never ever touch my snacks.
Yeah,
Ever.
don't touch his snacks. Don't touch my snacks either.
Mm-mm.
Now, you look at the colors on them, and these guys, very, very pretty feathers.
Mm-hmm.
But their feathers do not have any pigmentation. It
No.
is all due to iridescence. Their feathers are completely iridescent, and you get that brilliant green light, but that may be green in this angle, or more blue from this angle, or even black from certain angles. And you can kind of
Yeah.
see kind of the whole range of those colors in that picture there. Like, all of those feathers are pretty much the same in terms of their color. And it's just,
Yeah.
they look different depending on the way the light is hitting it and reflecting it. That is just so damn cool.
Uh-huh. And if you look at it under a microscope, I'm pretty sure it's actually more of like a hollow white to it, or like it's really clear inside.
Yeah.
But yeah, it has like so much refraction going on that it just looks green and blue
Yeah.
and stuff.
Yeah, the structure happens to reflect the green and blue parts of the spectrum without actually being green or blue. It's very cool. It's very cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, these little guys, they're kind of a symbol of luck in Andean culture. They symbolize luck, energy, and joy. There's not a whole lot of folklore around them, but it's just kind of they're just kind of a little symbol for, yeah, good little things. I mean, little green bird is lucky. Sounds right to me. Yeah. And of course, all hummingbirds just have a lot of super interesting things about them. Like hummingbirds having incredibly fast heart rates. At full energy, can get up to 1,200 beats per minute. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're one of the only birds that can like hover, and the only bird that can fly backwards.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty crazy. They have fewer feathers of any type of bird. Just in total number of feathers, and their little feet and legs are so small and weak. They are incapable of walking or hopping. They can only perch and maybe do like a couple little scoots sideways along a perch. But yeah, their little feet's kind of useless for anything other than just doing a little perch.
Oh. I mean, that is where the name Apodiformes comes from, is like without feet. So them and swifts, like when they're in the air, it's just really hard to see their feet because they're just all like small.
Yeah, their feet are pretty tucked in when they're in flight. This picture, you can see his little feet pretty easy, but yeah, it's not the only time is when they're perched. And a nice little positive thing at the end there is that their populations have been stable or growing in certain regions, so they are a species of least concern on the endangered species list. So they're doing just fine. That's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, what are my thoughts? Come on. Can't go wrong with a little hummingbird. They're just cute little guys, even though they're terrible fathers, and they're jerks and territorial. And, but I still love them. Because he's just a cute little guy.
Yay!
He's just a cute little
Okay.
guy. He's a cute little guy.
It is. It is. Yes.
Yeah. And, obviously, Archie, you love the hummingbird because he's a hummingbird. He's like you. He's like your little South American
Yes.
cousin.
Ah, yeah. I've grown up with hummingbirds. They've always been a favorite of mine to like check in on with the feeders and all that. And I'm actually really, really thankful to live in an area that, weirdly enough, has hummingbirds year round. So it's
Yay!
cool.
Well, I feel like a hummingbird is just one of those birds where if you see one, almost everybody's going to be like, oh, a hummingbird! And it's just going to be
Right, right.
excitement. Yeah, seeing a hummingbird is an exciting thing. Seeing a sparrow is like, oh, just a sparrow.
I guess
Yeah.
in a way, yeah.
Sparrows are the most widespread species of animal on the planet. And they're invasive almost everywhere. So I want
Yeah.
to declare... So it's like, we've got a flamboyance of flamingos, a murder of crows. I think that a group of sparrows should from henceforth be called an invasion. An invasion of sparrows. I don't know if
If
there
I'm not
is a term.
mistaken,
Is there a collective
Huh.
term for a group of hummingbirds?
there are a couple. I think one of them that pops up in my head there is like a jewel or something. A jewel of
Huh.
hummingbirds? Something like that.
Apparently,
I could actually look it up real quick.
apparently, there's the three most collective nouns for hummingbirds are a bouquet, a shimmer, and a charm.
Ah, a shimmer. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, a shimmer.
But they are called the gems of the sky. That's where
They
I got
are.
that
I
from.
mean, they are shiny, iridescent, reflective. Yeah.
Tinnitus of
Tonight is a hummingbird. I like that. Hatsio's
Oh, man.
fun. All right. Well, we're gonna call this bird of the day done, and we've got one more segment to do. So let's
All
let's
right.
done. All right. Back to the studio.
Ooh.
Get on the left, quick. Get on the left, quick. You're still
Yes.
behind my desk. Yay, you're back. Okay, you can sit down. You're standing up too high. Come on.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Come on.
It's a habit, you know. I got to be quick to fly away if need be.
All right. Well, we got one more segment. We're gonna play a little quiz game with you.
Ooh,
And,
okay.
I think you're gonna like this one. I tailored this one specifically to you. So,
Oh, nice.
So let's bring that up. Well, hummingbirds are the smallest type of bird. So we're gonna do a quiz about the smallest type of other things.
Oh, man. Okay. All right.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a category, and you're gonna have to tell me what the smallest thing in that category is. It is multiple choice, so you're not gonna have to
Okay.
come up with.
Whew, okay. Whew. That's a lot better.
Atoms aren't even the smallest thing. Atoms are made up of nucleuses that have protons, electrons, and neutrons. And even smaller than an electron is a quark. So it's like, yeah, come on. I think the quark is the smallest thing that we know for sure exists. But theoretical quantum physics, there are other theoretical things that are smaller than a quark.
Another thing I would love to understand.
I'm not going to lecture you on a goddamn thing, Dyfed. Not even going to try. All right. Well, we're going to do the smallest thing. So let's start with our first question. So, the smallest mammal. Now, is the
Oh.
smallest mammal a type of mouse, a type of bat, a type of mole, or a type of planigale?
See, okay, are we allowed to ask questions?
Sure.
Okay. What is a planigale?
A planigale is a type of rodent. It is small and it is a little burrowing guy.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken,
Now-
I'm not mistaken,
I just want
I
to say that I
believe-
am specifically saying that smallest in terms of actual size, not weight.
Okay. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the smallest mammal is a bat. So I'm going to go with B.
All right, you are going to go with B, and you would be correct. The kitty's
Yes!
hog-nosed bat, aka the bumblebee bat. Look at that little tiny guy.
It's just so small.
He's just so small, so fuzzy. He's just a tiny little guy. Tiny little guy.
Oh, man.
All right, so people are wondering what a planigale is. I'm just gonna. Oh, that's too small of a picture. Give me a
How
bigger-
fitting.
Give me a bigger picture. Open new tab.
I
is it
want to
only
pet it carefully.
All these pictures of planigale are like thumbnail size. All right, here, I'll pop it up. That's a planigale.
Aw, okay.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a shrew a little bit.
Yeah, they're kind of like they're not a shrew, they're not a mouse, but they're similar. It's just like, but of course, yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like, wait, are bats? Bats are not rodents, are they?
I don't know. In German, they're called a Fledermaus, which literally translates to fluttermouse.
Yeah.
Which, if that's not the most adorable thing, I don't know
That's
what
super
is.
cute name.
The fluttermouse.
Well, you're 1 for 1. Perfect score so far.
All right.
All right. Next one. All right. So, what is the smallest island nation? Is it Nauru, Tuvalu, Seychelles, or the Marshall Islands?
Okay.
Now, I will say This country is the third smallest country in the world after Vatican City and Monaco. But they're not
Oh,
islands.
right. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm not very well kept up on my geography, so I don't even know where any of these places are.
All of them are
Uh,
in the Pacific, in the Oceania
all of them
area.
are in the Pacific.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're all
That makes
Pacific
sense. There are
islands.
a lot of small islands in the Pacific. Smallest island nation. For some reason, sea is jumping out to me. So I'm gonna go
Seychelles.
with that.
All right. Well, the answer is actually Nauru.
Dang
Area of
it.
only 21 square kilometers or 8.1 square miles. Third smallest country in the world behind Vatican City and Monaco. And there's a picture of the entire
Jeez.
country.
That is tiny. You could like just walk that in a day.
I'm pretty sure I've had Minecraft islands bigger than that I've built up.
Dang.
Yeah, there we go. Tiny little Nauru. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this is a difficult quiz. You just don't worry about it. It's a hard quiz. It's a hard quiz.
Okay.
All right. So what is the smallest Major League Baseball park by number of seats? Is it
By number
Fenway
of
in
seats.
Boston? Is it Progressive Field for the Cleveland Guardians? Is it Marlins Park of the Florida Marlins? Or is it Tropicana Field of the Tampa Bay Rays?
Okay. I mean, I want to say that anything Florida related is automatically going to be off the table because of just how big the population is in comparison.
Okay.
Ugh. So if that's the case, oh, but Boston's also a pretty big place. But maybe, hmm. You know what? I am going to say, oh, but no. See, this is where my test taking like paranoia comes back into play. I thought I left this back in high school because I don't want to choose the same answer multiple times in a row or the same letter, you know? But like, what if that's what you're expecting? And it's just, oh,
Well,
this is
I
devious.
I will give kind of a clue to this, but maybe you'll know.
Okay.
The official capacity of this place is higher than the actual number of capacity that they have recorded down because the upper level is closed off and tarped over during the games.
Oh, it's tarped over. Okay. Okay, well then maybe that does include Florida because of all the rain and hurricanes and stuff. Uh, hmm. Okay. I'm gonna go with D, the Tampa Rays, Tropicana Field.
And you are correct. The
Yay!
published capacity of the stadium is 42,735, but that includes the 300 level of the stadium, which is usually covered by a tarp and is unoccupied for all but a few games or when the Rays are in the playoffs. The capacity then drops to 25,000, making Tropicana Field the smallest stadium in the MLB by capacity.
Ah,
And that
interesting.
was from the official MLB thing. So they said that's what it is. That's what I'm going with. Now, if it's fully open, I wonder if it's still I think then it might be because I think those were actually the four smallest in terms of. Like I was surprised, but apparently Fenway they haven't changed it much over the years. It's like they want to
Oh,
preserve the historic nature of Fenway because Fenway I think is the oldest MLB ballpark.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, it goes
I
back a
guess that would make
long
sense then,
ways.
yeah.
Yeah. And rather than expanding into a big modern thing, they want to preserve what it is, you know. And obviously they have expanded it, but they don't want to completely change the feel of the park, right?
hmm Now
All right.
here's a real question.
Ooh.
When this thing has the tarp up, if a ball hits the tarp and then drops back down, is it still considered in the field?
Oh, goodness no. If it's hitting the upper level, if a ball strikes anywhere out of play, it's a home run, even if it bounces back into play.
Okay.
So like if it goes just over the fence, hits a seat and bounces back onto the field, that's still a home run. Now,
Okay.
if it hits in play first and then goes over the wall, that's a ground rule double. And it's automatically a
All
double.
right.
So,
Interesting.
little baseball knowledge for you there. But yeah, if a player is able to hit it up to the upper level, that's a bomb of a hit there, baby. That's yeah. All right. Question 4. So, we all know that Galgura is the smallest Hollow Myth talent by size, but who is the smallest by number of subscribers of those original 5 Hollow Myth? Is it Kiara?
See,
Okay, so you think it's Ninome Inanis?
no. I said C is in like I was gonna bring this back. You know how I mentioned there were 2 things that I have I'm a fanatic over.
Uh-huh.
The other thing was Hololive, so I already know the answer to this question.
So is it Kiara, Callie, Ina, or Ame?
It is for sure a Takanashi Kiara.
Yeah, that is correct. Although she's not that far behind Ina.
Right, they're pretty close together.
They're pretty close. And then Ame is a bit higher, and then you have a big jump to Callie, and then Gora's just in a goddamn league of her own.
By a landslide. But yeah, I really like them all regardless of size, you know? And actually I'm kind of going through some backlog of Kiara right now. So
Kiara's
you
my
gotta
favorite.
support your fellow birds, you know?
Yeah, Kiara's my favorite of the 5. She's amazing. I love her personality. I love how she's kind of like, it's like she's not the star, but she's the glue that holds a lot of Hololive together. Like,
yeah, she does a lot of like collabs
But when they do big collabs, you notice that Kiara's usually the one who's like running things and like kind of hosting it. Like she just has a really good talent for that, where it's like she may not be like the big star, but like she is there to help others shine and bring people together, and yeah.
So it's a very admirable quality.
Yeah, and she's great. She's entertaining. Yeah. All right. Well, you're 3 for 4. Pretty good so far. Pretty good.
Okay.
All right. What is the smallest human bone? Is it the stapes, the malleus, the incus, or the femur?
If I'm not mistaken, the malleus is the tiny bone in your ear that helps with hearing things. So I'm pretty sure it's the malleus. I'm gonna go B.
You're gonna go B. Well, the malleus is a tiny bone in your ear, also known as the anvil. The incus is also a tiny bone in the ear, known as the hammer, and the stapes is the other tiny bone in your ear, known as the stirrup. It's not femur. Femur's actually the biggest bone in your body. I'm glad you didn't pick it.
It's definitely not femur.
But the correct answer is actually A, the stapes. It is the stirrup.
Dang
so
it.
There's a little diagram there, and there's those 3 bones, and the stapes is the smallest one. It's, tiny little bone.
Wait a minute.
So, what?
The little pink swirly thing, that is that the thing that connects the ear stuff to your brain?
I think so.
Oh, that is so weird. I've never seen a diagram like this. Sorry. Like, it's weird. Okay.
Yeah.
Anatomy stuff. It gets to me.
But then, the tympanic membrane, aka the eardrum. Yeah. Yep, tiny little bones. But the stapes is technically the smallest. And they are separated, so they are 3 different bones, even though they're kind of connected into one piece. But, yeah.
Very interesting.
All right. So who is the smallest shark by size and weight? Is it the Panama ghost cat shark, the spined pygmy shark, the dwarf lantern shark, or Galgura? Sorry, I had to get Gora in there again. It's like
if Gura is smaller than the smallest shark, let's see.
Well, I think Gora is officially like 4'7", so use that as you will.
Oh man. I mean, okay, I really, really love the name of Panama Ghost Cat Shark.
I know, right?
Really
It's an amazing name.
It's so good. That is
such a great
good
animal name.
But pygmy and dwarf are also like really small sounding sharks. I feel like I gotta go with one of those.
Well, A, B, and C are all on the list of the 10 smallest sharks.
I'm gonna go with the dwarf lantern shark.
And you would be correct!
Yeah, oh my god!
The dwarf lantern shark is a little-known species of dogfish shark in the family Etmopteridae, the smallest shark in the world, found in Colombia and Venezuela, which are
Oh my
also the
God.
countries that were featured in Bird of the Day today. Yay!
Yeah. Maybe the hummingbirds like go over to the water and visit.
Yeah. Look at those little tiny fellas.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that's considered a shark. Wow.
Well, I mean, okay. It's one thing that I've mentioned on here before. It's my favorite factoids.
Mhm.
There's no such thing as a fish. There is no possible way to biologically define an animal into a category that works as a fish
Oh.
without, because every time you try and define it, you're going to include things that are biologically too different, or you're going to exclude things that are biologically similar. And then, like, yeah. So sharks all have kind of a common DNA and certain structures to them. So you can define a shark, and you may say a shark is a type of fish, but taxonomically it's not. There's not like,
Huh.
yeah, it's complicated. Taxonomy is complicated as it is. Marine taxonomy, forget it. Forget it. It's
I mean,
a thousand
you have
times
to
like
deal.
marine taxonomy is more complicated than all like land taxonomy times 1,000. It's don't even try.
I mean, the fact that you have to deal with stuff like anemone and jellyfish. Yeah, I can definitely see that being difficult.
Yeah. And like, are crustaceans a fish? No. But like, apparently a salmon is like more related to like some types of like it's more related to things that we clearly would say are not fish than it is to things that we clearly say are fish. Is
Oh, weird.
And when you get to the freshwater things and the separation of with hundreds of millions of years, it's yeah, it's just like
Hmm.
we just so like to think, oh, sea animal equals fish, but then we're like, okay, maybe just a thing with scales and fins and gills is a fish. It's hard to do. It's hard to do. Don't
Right,
even try.
right.
Don't even try. But you got that one right.
Apparently, a hip. Yay.
Yeah, very good.
Apparently, hippo's closest relative is a whale.
I believe it. Whales are nicer than hippos. I mean, maybe not orcas.
For sure. For sure.
But we like orcas because they attack luxury yachts. So, yeah. All right. We're doing a South American thing again here. What is the
Yes.
smallest South American country? And this is a sovereign nation only and by landmass.
Okay.
Is it Guyana, Ecuador, Suriname, or Uruguay?
I know these names. I mean, I definitely know it's not Ecuador.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I specifically said sovereign nation. So the smallest territory in South America is French Guiana, which is smaller than the correct answer here, but it is still considered a French territory and thus don't count.
Right, right. In that case, wanna say, God dang it. I want to say C again, but we just did C. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna bite the bullet. I'm gonna say this is the one where it's the same letter again. So I'm gonna go with Suriname.
And you would be correct.
Oh my God! Yes.
Yeah, so you can see on the map there, we got French Guiana there. You can see it as a little solid in surname. And then Guyana is only just a little bit bigger than Suriname. I don't know why that BBC News is flashing in the top corner. It wasn't like that when I downloaded it, and now it's doing that, and I didn't know it was a GIF, and now I don't like it.
Yeah,
It's distracting.
It's a little distracting.
But you got it right. Very good. Very good. Yep. There's those three little countries north of Brazil there: Guyana, Suriname, and the French Guiana. But French Guiana, not a sovereign nation, so didn't count. But I also didn't put it as an answer, so I could have put it there to trip you up, but I don't gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. But I just basically had to explain that, so I don't have anybody who's like, "Hey, Twig, you got this wrong. Actually, French Guiana is smaller." I don't really get people like that in my things.
I do remember I was watching a little bit of your Sunday Dusk with Dreyfrig when you were doing the Halloween movie quiz.
Uh-huh.
And how there was the trip up with
with
was
Friday the
it?
13th.
Yeah, with Friday the 13th.
Yeah, I like to get people with that one.
Mhm.
Who's Pamela Voorhees? Watch the movie, dang it. All right. What is the smallest reptile? Is it the nano chameleon, the Virgin Islands dwarf gecko, the Barbados thread snake, or the speckled Cape tortoise?
Ooh. Okay. And this is like a variety of reptiles too. That's gonna be tough.
Yeah, chameleons, geckos, snakes, and tortoises. And again,
Hmm.
all four of these answers are on the list of the 10 smallest reptiles, which I was real surprised with some of these.
Yeah, I can imagine. I mean, nano chameleon sounds like it would be really, really small. Like just off the name alone.
Mm-hmm. Does
But
that mean it's 1/1000th the size of a normal chameleon?
of
Or
an
wait,
actual
doesn't nano
chameleon.
mean a millionth?
I can't remember. Can't remember off the top of my head. But think it might. No, 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 chameleon. Yes.
Nano is a unit prefix meaning 1 billionth.
Oh my God,
Well, I'm
billion.
going to tell you
Okay.
this. A nano chameleon is bigger than 1 billionth the size of a normal chameleon. Because that'd be pretty fucking small.
Oh my God. That would be like swimming with the tardigrades. Uh,
But the question is are they smaller than the Virgin Islands dwarf gecko or that thread snake?
I think I'm gonna
Or
go.
tortoise? Or tortoise?
I think I'm gonna go with the tortoise. I don't know
Go with the
why.
tortoise. Okay.
I feel like for some reason it would be the smallest.
Okay, well. No, you should have gone with your instincts. It was the nano chameleon.
Dang it!
Look at that guy. That's a fingertip. Look
It's
at him on
No
there.
wonder it's nano.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And
The
they're
size
actually
of a seed.
yes, I mean, technically a coconut's a seed, so
Oh, fair.
saying. But yeah, pretty small seed. I mean, it's such a tiny little guy, so small.
Oh my
They were
God.
only discovered in the last 10 years, and probably because I could see why. Because how are you going to even find them?
Yeah.
Unlike other chameleons, they do not have the ability to change the color of their scales. They lack that
I was
ability.
about to ask.
But structurally, you can see. I mean, that sure looks like a chameleon, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got that body structure, but such tiny little guys. So cute.
Yeah.
So cute.
Oh, the feet are throwing me off so much. They're just like,
I know, they're so weird. Chameleon feet are weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Zygodactyl.
All right. All right. Who was the smallest U.S. president by height? Was it Martin Van
For
Buren,
some reason,
James Madison, John Adams, or Zachary Taylor?
I feel like I remember learning about this fact. Okay, you know what? If it wasn't D last time, it's got to be D this time, right? Zachary Taylor.
You're gonna go with Zachary Taylor. Okay.
I'm gonna go with Zachary
Lock
Taylor.
it in. Well, you'd be wrong. It was James Madison.
Dang it.
The tallest U.S. president, of course, was Abraham Lincoln at 6'4", but
Oh,
the
wow.
shortest was James Madison at only 5'4".
Okay.
Short king.
Sure
But those
thing.
other three, like Zachary Taylor, I think was 5'5", so it's pretty close.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
Yeah, those were like the four of the shortest presidents. Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Small little guys, cute little guys.
Imagine calling a
look at that
president
little
a
James
small
Madison
little
there.
guy.
Look at that little guy. He's such a cute little guy. All right, what is the smallest U.S. state by population?
Oh.
Is it Wyoming, Rhode Island, North Dakota, or Vermont?
Okay. It's between two of them, and I think I know which one it's going to be. It's definitely not Rhode Island. Rhode Island's pretty populated for how small it is.
Yeah, it's small, but it's very dense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I eliminated that.
And Vermont's kind of in the same area, so despite the fact that it's one of my tempted answers, I think I know the actual answer. I think the actual answer for how like spacious it is and how few people would like consider living there, I guess. I think it's Wyoming.
All right. And you would be correct. It is Wyoming. With a
Mm-hmm.
population of 576,851 in the 2020 census, the least populous state, despite being the 10th largest by area. There's
Oh,
a lot of empty space there. You got a lot of mountain
oh yeah.
ranges. You got a lot of national forest. I mean, Yellowstone is mostly in Wyoming. It's
Mm-hmm.
uh, it's pretty empty. Apparently, like the most remote place in the United States, other than Alaska, in the continental U.S., is in Wyoming. And there's like a spot that is 26 miles away from any structure, road, town, or anything.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I actually have a cousin who lives in Wyoming, and I can
Yeah.
only imagine how boring it is.
Look, I would love to live out in the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, just so long as if there was a grocery store nearby and I had fiber internet. Other than that, I'd be great. Just let me live out peacefully in nature, but also I want to be able to get food and internet. Yeah, that's all I ask for.
Fair enough.
That's what
I
I ask
can't
for.
believe there are like cities that have a higher population than an entire state. Oh
I
my
know,
God.
it's crazy, right? But they
Hmm.
still get 2 senators. Yay! 67 times the voting, power of people in California.
Hmm.
Awesome. But yeah, basically you get Casper, which has got like a population of like 300,000 or something, and the
Hmm.
rest of the state. And then, maybe Cheyenne is kind of a decent sized city too, but that's basically it. That's their 2 cities.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. But that's the way it is. So, well, we're at the end of the quiz, and you got 6 out of 10 correct.
All right.
That's pretty good. Pretty good for a quiz that, like, you couldn't have studied for or known anything about. So,
Right.
yeah. All right. Well, let's give Archie a hand. Yeah. Yeah. Woo!
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, our show has come to an end. It's time for us to call it a night. It's been so much fun. Did you have fun, Archie?
I did. It was a
Good.
lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much for coming on. Before we head out, is there anything you'd like to plug?
Well, I guess if you want to help me reach a milestone as well, I know that Corvus just reached 500. Congratulations again on that. Very, very cool.
Yay!
If you want to help me reach 200, you can go over to my channel, Archie Bird VTuber on Twitch. And yeah, I play a lot of games. I'm currently playing Near Replicant for the first time, if that interests you. And I think down the road sometime this month, I might also do a Jackbox party sort of game with
That
chat.
could be fun.
So
Yeah, let me know about that. I might be
yeah.
able to hop in, depending on if I'm busy or not. But yeah. All
Hmm.
right, cool. Well, we are gonna raid the heck on out of here, and let's
Sounds
see,
good.
who should we victimize today? Well, Susie's still doing her special stream, so we always like to. We love Susie. She's a sweetheart. So we're gonna go give Susie some love.
All right,
Okay.
sounds good.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks for stopping on in, and thanks for being my great audience. We love you all. We will see you all next time.
Bye.